My bold prediction, and this could be the boldest prediction in the history of NetsBoy. The Nets will have zero, I'm telling you, nada, nothing, no drama this season. Whoa! That did not age well at all. His name is NetsBoy, so let's gather around from all over. His name is NetsBoy, so let's hear what he has to say. His name is NetsBoy, he thinks the world is all over. When the Nets just can't play. What up, Net fans? NetsBoy here, bringing your latest in your what a surprise, this team is a joke, Brooklyn Nets news. All right, we got a lot to go over in this episode. I got a lot of things on my mind, a lot of things that I want to address, a lot of things I want to talk about. So I'm going to try to get this done as efficiently and as fast and as composed as possible. Obviously, the major news is that the Nets finally parted ways with Steve Nash. After what was a 2-5, but now it's 2-6 start, Sean Marks and Joe Tsai said, you know what, Steve, I don't think this is working out. Steve said, I agree, and they parted ways. And look, NetsBoy has always been against Steve Nash. I complain about him all the time. Back-to-back biggest donkeys of the year at the end of last season and the year before that. I felt that he was always in over his head. I never thought he should have been hired in the first place. I always said he was more like a glorified cheerleader instead of a basketball coach. All these things. And it was inevitable. Once the Nets start off to that rough start, I knew it was going to happen. I'm sure everyone else did. I'm sure Steve Nash did. I didn't think it was going to happen this soon. But obviously, I guess, with everything that's transpired, with how bad they've looked and the terrible loss of the Pacers, and then they played the Pacers again and blew a 24-point lead but held on to win. And I just, with everything accumulating, the drama with Kyrie Irving, which, we will definitely talk about that a little bit later. You know, Ben Simmons not being a bit of a shell of himself, the defensive lapses, the lack of size, the rebounding, the toughness, all these things. I guess enough was enough in Sean Marks and Joe Tsai's eye. They're like, bye, Steve. And look, I'm pleased with that determination on that part. I just don't know where this team is going from here. I don't. And there's loads of speculation and rumors, and I'm going to touch upon that as well a little bit later, that, you know, Ime Udoka might be the coach of this team, which is just like adding fuel to the fire that is this disaster of the Nets, which we're going to touch upon, like I said, a little bit later. I just don't know what the vision is. I don't even know if Sean Marks has the idea what this vision is. I think he's just kind of like, this team is a disaster. Steve Nash is the head coach. You know, we got to figure this out. And it's almost like the Nets wanted to get rid of Nash over the offseason, but because Kevin Durant put that whole, you know, it's either me or Steve Nash or Sean Marks ultimatum, that whole thing, it's almost like that the Nets are like, you know what, we want to get rid of Nash, we want to get rid of him on our terms, not make it seem like we're catering to KD. But, I mean, that's kind of the feel I got. So it's just a disaster. It's a disaster anytime a team fires their head coach. It's a disaster every time a team starts off 2-6. It's a disaster when a team is supposed to be a championship caliber team but can't play any defense and just blows leads after blows leads, has the inability to close out in the fourth quarter, as we saw in that Bulls game just last night, depending on when you've seen this episode. I mean, that Bulls game was just frustrating. I barely watched it, I'm going to be honest, because I was just so fed up with this team with all the other drama surrounding it. I mean, I've had enough to hear. I mean, I don't know how much more I can deal with this team. I mean, at some point, is someone going to say create some sort of logic or stability to this franchise? At some point, is someone going to take the reins and say, you know what? We are a joke. We are the laughingstock of not just the NBA league, but of the entire world right now. I'm getting text messages from people who don't even follow basketball, who are having a field day at the expense of the drama that's surrounding this team. People are just like, whoa, NetsBoy, I can't believe what's going on with your team. Like, what is this? And I thought like it was a disaster when KD put the whole trade request and all that other drama, but this is even worse. So I mean, let's just put the whole scope into perspective right now. The whole thing into perspective of where we are with this team. They don't have a coach. They fired Steve Nash. Okay. Their one star player is completely tone deaf to the things he is posting on social media. Let's start with that. I have been on Kyrie Irving's side defending him for a long time. And I've stuck by him, trying to see it his way, trying to say, you know what, I may not agree, but I'm with Kyrie, all this crap. I'm done with this guy. He has managed to burn the one bridge to somebody who he doesn't even know, because I don't know Kyrie, but I was always a Kyrie apologist, a supporter. But bro, you cannot be this dense. You cannot post things on social media about anti-Semitic terms and all these awful things that has been discriminatory against an entire group of people and be this tone deaf and not even say, oh man, I didn't mean it. Instead, he doubled down and says, like, I'm not promoting anything. It's my platform. I can post what I want. Bro, what the hell? You can't do things like this. He's been doing stuff like this for a long time. I get it. But this one just takes the cake. Posting a link to some movie that has, that first of all, tries to pin two, ultimately discriminatory groups of people who've dealt with adversity, both of them, trying to pin them together as if they're rivals. Right off the bat, that's awful. That's awful to try to take these two groups that have dealt with so much historically in the world, not just this country, but in the world, and try to pin them against each other. And then to post that is one thing. To double down on it when people are saying, hey, Kyrie, people aren't happy that you're posting something that's anti-Semitic. And he just goes, I'm not posting anything. I'm not promoting anything. It's my platform. I want to do this or that. And then he gets in that stupid altercation with Nick Friedel. And I don't like Nick Friedel. I never liked him. I always thought he was more of an antagonizer than a beat writer. Like he tries to drum up a lot of, unnecessary drama sometimes, which I feel like Kyrie feels. But like Kyrie's response to him was like a little kid, having a temper tantrum. I'm not promoting anything. You're trying to make a big deal about me. I'm not trying to do, those are your words, not mine, blah, 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 blah. Like, come on, bro. Where's the accountability? And worse than that, where is the accountability from this next team? Where is the accountability from the organization? Sean Marks' press conference was a disaster. I was like, what are you saying? It's like no one on this Nets organization wanted to get their hands dirty. Bro, your team and franchise is a joke. We all know this. It's been a joke. That's why Katie wanted out, because he saw it was a joke. And then you finally got a little bit of credibility by putting your foot down on Kyrie saying, we're not giving you the extension. You got to prove this to us. and actually showed a backbone with KD, saying, we're going to right the ship. We're not going to give you what you want. You're not going to get traded. So they showed a little backbone. But where is it now? How has Kyrie not at least been fined? And, Sean Marks is like, oh, we're discussing things. There could be some consequences down the road. It's been like 4 days since Kyrie posted this. He finally took it down. But first, it took him a while to do that. And we still don't know what's going on. And this isn't, some things aren't black and white. And some things are not, there's a lot of gray a lot. To me, there's nothing gray about this. This is just flat out wrong. And I'm not saying Kyrie's anti-Semitic. I don't believe he is. I just think he posted something not fully grasping the understanding of what he was actually saying. But instead of saying, I made a mistake, I didn't mean it this way, he has yet to explain himself of what he was trying to say or do. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, I meant it in this way, he's blaming every single person who doesn't see it his way. How dare you think that I'm anti-Semitic just because I posted something that said the Holocaust was a myth and quotes Adolf Hitler and pretty much paints the entire, Jewish faith and Jewish religion and the Jewish people in general as the enemy. How dare you think I'm anti-Semitic by doing that? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How dunce can you be? How stupid? How? Bro, that ain't right. You're supposed to be joining these groups and people and ethnicities and religions and everything together. Not posting stuff that literally pinpoints, African Americans and Jewish people and Hebrews. That's what they posted. How is that good? How could you, and worse than that, how can you post that and think it'd be good without any type of ramifications? It's just like the vaccine mandate. And that's a little bit, I have a better understanding of that because that one is more of like a true personal, belief. I didn't want to get vaccinated, the mandate. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to understand there's consequences to your actions. There is consequences to posting and saying things and doing things that maybe not everyone sees in the same way you do. And when someone questions those things, if you really believe it, you're supposed to explain it. And you're supposed to say, this is where I'm coming from. Not double down and say, you're coming at me. You're trying to make a big deal out of nothing. I'm not promoting anything. Grow up. You're in the 11th year in the league. And I have stood by you for the last 3 or 4 years saying, Kyrie Irving, he wants to be a net. I understand where he's coming. I don't get it anymore. I'm done. I'm done, bro. You lost an ally. I'm not on your side anymore. I can't be, because that's just ignorant, and it's just dumb, and it's childish, and I will not be associated with it. And I am ashamed of this Brooklyn Nets organization for not doing anything else about it. Oh, I got an idea. I got the solution for you. Let's go and just add more fuel to the fire of the disaster that is this organization, like I said earlier, and bring in Ime Udoka as the new head coach, a guy who literally is serving a 1-year suspension for violating team policy by having inappropriate relationships with an employee/staffer. Let's just add more fuel to the fire and disaster. Are you kidding me? Where is the ethics? Where is the sense of responsibility? I swear to God, if Ime Udoka is hired as the next head coach for the Nets, and that's the rumor, nothing's finalized yet or anything, I might be done with this franchise. Because I'll tell you this now, I will never, until these situations get rectified, until there's respectability back to the name Brooklyn Nets, I will not be wearing my sweatshirt. I will not be wearing my hat. I don't know if I'll necessarily do any NetsBoy episodes. I'm going to probably still do them because this is what I kind of signed up for when I do it, but I don't want to represent this organization right now if they bring him in because it's just classless. At what point is someone going to step in and do what's best for the franchise? And look, I understand that there's an argument out there about the Udoka situation, right? It was consensual. Everyone, that's the theory. Then there's some other speculation that maybe it was not as consensual. We don't really know. The Celtics have never released all the information about the investigation that they had. Obviously, it had to be something there because they suspended him for a year. All these things, there's a lot of uncertainty. I get it. But, bro, I mean, you cannot bring in this guy with everything else going on with Kyrie Irving and all the other drama right now. It is, I mean, whoever the PR person is for the Brooklyn Nets should probably be fired, or they should just resign or quit, because either they're not doing their job or they're not being listened to, because this is a joke now. Just on the merit of everything that transpired and the way everyone looks at this franchise, Ime Udoka should not get the job, which kind of sucks because basketball-wise, I think he's exactly what the Nets need. He's a defensive-minded coach. He has a relationship with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. He used to be the Nets assistant coach. He just took the Celtics last year to the NBA Finals. He's exactly what they need as a coach. But at what point are we going to say enough is enough? It's about credibility and respectability. I touched upon this before when Kevin Durant put in his trade request. I almost rather be a mediocre team that plays hard and is respectable, that has dignity and pride, than a disastrous team with loads of drama but has a chance to win a championship. Because when I wear my jerseys or sweatshirts or hats, I want pride. I want to wear these things with pride. I want to be proud to be a Brooklyn Nets fan. And I am right now the farthest thing of proud from the Brooklyn Nets. This is just an embarrassment. And I don't know if it's going to change. At least not right now. And it's very, very, very upsetting. And it's making me do something I never thought I'm going to do. I'm going to do a verbal disclaimer right now to everyone. NetsBoy does not agree with or back any of the decisions by the Brooklyn Nets organization, or any of the Brooklyn Nets players. NetsBoy actually condemns the idea of hate speech and anti-Semitic prejudice, and also would like to promote the idea of a hardworking, uniformed, working together team and organization. NetsBoy does not want to have anything to do, and will not, and does not have anything to do with the Brooklyn Nets and Brooklyn Nets organization at this point. NetsBoy is a third-party media representation of a fan who is fed up with this franchise. I just want to make that very clear, because I am that embarrassed to even have the name NetsBoy right now. And not that this matters to Sean Marks or Joe Asai, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Steve Nash, Ime Udoka, anybody else, because we know they're not watching it. But for the 163 subscribers I have and over 50 views per episode, I just want to make that clear. I am disgusted, and I do not want to associate with what's going on. And I do not agree with anything that this organization is representing themselves for right now. Now, will that change? I certainly hope so. It has to. Will I continue to do these NetsBoy episodes? I guess I will. But just because that's kind of what I do. But will I be happy about it? No. Will I be as prideful and as passionate? Probably not. But I feel like I owe it to just see this through, because this is what I've done for the last 8 years. And, this is obviously a hobby for me, so I don't need to continue to do it. But at the same time, I want to believe that things will get better. I just hope they get better. So that's pretty much it. This team is a joke. They couldn't go 2 weeks without major drama. Kyrie's the ultimate ding-dong. Don't want to deal with him anymore. I mean, I'll be okay if they cut him tomorrow. I just don't care. I don't care if they cut Kyrie, they trade Kevin Durant, they trade Ben Simmons, and they just start over. I almost sometimes rather prefer that right now, because I don't know if this team is going to get better. with everything that's going on, the personnel, the leadership, the drama. I don't think it will. I almost want this to just implode and just start over. I want this team to be full of pride. I want to be proud. Is that too much to ask? Anyway, I'm done. I don't know when the next NetsBoy is going to be. I'm going to be very honest. It's probably going to be when the Nets name a coach. And I swear, if it's Ime Udoka, I mean, I'll probably start off the episode with a similar type of, hopefully, more abbreviated rant. But just hopefully the Nets do their due diligence and they pick someone. I mean, Quinn Snyder was someone else's name thrown out there. I think he would be a great fit for this team as well. Used to be the Jazz coach. I don't want Mike D'Antoni. He's someone else. I don't even want to even discuss this. I'm sick. I'm sick of this. And the team's 2-6, and they look bad on the court as well. So, to hell with it. Keep your eyes open for the next NetsBoy episode. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sure everyone's got a lot of opinions of everything, but I'm just kind of disgusted with this team. I don't know when the next NetsBoy is going to be. I'm sure maybe at some point I'll post one after they get a new coach. Maybe after the next couple games. I don't know. There is a small chance, but always a possibility that I just don't simply care anymore. That's how frustrated I am. And I apologize if anybody is upset by that, but that's how awful this franchise is right now. So perhaps this is the last ever NetsBoy episode. Maybe I'm being a little over dramatic. I don't know. But if it is, thank you all for sticking with me. But I don't know. Until the next NetsBoy, maybe. This is NetsBoy. Signing off.